we love Halloween. It's bigger than Christmas for us. Although now with Terrifier, maybe they're about the same. But no, we're fanatical about Halloween and dressing up. And I have a 5-year-old daughter who is also obsessed with horror movies. So, I mean, yeah, you can see the artwork behind me that our whole house is very much horror.
Yeah, and I suppose, Krsy, we all know you the sci-fi world and such a prominent role in underworld evolution, and to be involved in another sort of series that has life to it, and it has almost got the feeling of the Halloween Mike Myers, that this could be a seasonal thing, maybe not every year, but maybe once every 2 years or sort of such, to play a role in this sort of horror films. Do you like that sort of being associated to a franchise, dare I say? Because that's what it is, Terrifier. It's becoming a franchise. It's becoming its own sort of cult sort of following. And when something develops a following, the following will keep banging and knocking on the door until there's more and more installments.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true being part of this franchise. I was a fan of it since the very first one, and it was something I really wanted to be a part of. So when it actually happened, it was super exciting. And I mentioned I have a young daughter, and she's a fanatical fan of the clown. Like, she has his toys and stuff. So she thinks I'm very cool now, which is exciting. That's what every parent wants, their kids to think they're cool. So
Yeah, and I suppose some people have a terrific phobia about, terrifying phobia about clowns as well. And it's probably a concept that many people have strayed away from, given the whole sort of Batman Joker sort of thing. Because how do you top Joaquin Phoenix or the people who have gone before him, Heath Ledger, and the people who have played the Joker? How can you make a clown sort of different and maybe sort of say, but he seemed to have done this in art in terms of Art the Clown and Terrifier, and I suppose it is a concept of the supervillain, but it's very hard to portray because everyone probably make comparisons to Joker, the most famous clown villain. But to do something like this, you seem to have created a character that stands on its own 2 feet, more along the lines of Freddy and Jason.
yeah, I mean, I think that Damien is an absolute genius with, his vision for Art the Clown. And, he's a true fan of those slasher movies. And so you can tell, like, there's so much love behind it. But yeah, I have to say, we haven't seen a modern icon like Art the Clown ever. In my generation, Michael and Freddie, they existed before I did. So this has been a really cool experience to watch a brand new icon be made, and so organically, by someone who genuinely just loves that genre and loves those films. So, but yeah, I think that Art is absolutely terrifying. And the fact that he doesn't even make a sound is so scary.
Yeah, so that's so true, and that probably makes it even more sort of the undead feel. Jason Voorhees was type of similar. All you see Jason and the mask and the chainsaw, and that was that. In terms of your own character, Jennifer, in terms of Terrifier 3, what's her sort of role in this type of movie? Because there's so many backstories and back characters to a horror movie. Sometimes you can get lost in it, saying who's who or what's what or what's this. Where does Jennifer fit into this?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much of a spoiler it is, but I think people know at this point. I guess Damien put it the best way. I'm the Drew Barrymore in Scream. I'm the cold open. It's a large section, like a longer form cold open. And it's just sort of sets the tone for the movie. It's very scary. I mean, it's really weird to watch yourself kind of go through what my character goes through. But I do have to say, like, there's something about that open and the way it's written and how really genuinely terrifying it feels. So I'm really proud because I feel like it was really special to get to sort of kick off the movie.
Mm. And that sort of special effects that comes into plays with horror movies. I imagine as actors and actresses, the more gory, the more blood, the more sort of terrifying it looks when you're viewing it, the more and more and more fun it is to play, dare I say, the sort of vicious scenes of her deaths. Is it hard sometimes when the cameras are rolling to sort of keep a straight face? Do you need to say, when the director says cut that's the scene, you almost feel, oh my god, that was so much fun, or the laughs that start to come out. You go from screaming your eyes out to bursting out laughing.
You know, sometimes, yeah, it's you go through a lot of emotions because when you're doing something that physical and that scary, and you know, when you see the film, my character goes through a lot of extremely physical things. So yeah, like you genuinely get to that place where you're in a state. But yeah, then it can be funny sometimes it can be exhausting, but it's just really fulfilling. Like when you finish that day and you're like, wow, like my body and my brain and all the people on set, we all went through something really crazy together. And it was really fun. I shot this in Staten Island, and I was they put me up at a hotel there. And there was a couple nights I would walk through the hotel lobby coming back, and I was like, just keep the blood on me. I'm tired. I'm just going to go and have a shower when I get back to the hotel. And I think the staff were like terrified of me. Like, what is this girl doing? Where is she going? Why is she coming back with blood on her every single night?
I imagine the wardrobe team was kept on go 24/7 on that show. They're probably more busier than the actors in terms of getting people ready and getting on set, and the special effects and the makeup that came. Dare I say, were the long early mornings and long hours being strapped to that makeup artist set, and sort of, and they have quick glances. Just to have the before and after pictures.
I have so many pictures in my phone that I can't share because like 90% of them are spoilers, and I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody yet. It just came out today. But yeah, I mean, I spent so much time with the crew, especially, yeah, makeup and wardrobe, because I mean, especially when you're in a film like this, there's a lot of different types of prosthetics. And so, yeah, it almost becomes like a little family. When we just had our premiere in New York, the whole like cast and crew were there. And I literally started crying. I was so happy to see everybody. Like, you just get so attached and you go through something together. And then when it's finally out there and you get to celebrate it together, it's like the most amazing feeling in the whole world.
One name sort of drew my attention of the cast, because he comes from a different sort of world, but he's known for his improv in terms of his ability with microphone in hand, and obviously he has to portray sometimes a good guy, sometimes a heel, sometimes a bad guy. But the cameo role and the guest appearance from Chris Jericho, what was it like? Did you get to meet Chris Jericho on set? And people say he's a very friendly, down to earth sort of guy with his rock band and all this sort of family life. And what was your experience of Chris Jericho? Did you see a different version of what we all grow up seeing on our TV screens?
Yeah, he's a really great guy. So the interesting thing about a movie like this, a lot of the sections of the movie are like sort of their own thing. So it was actually weird. A lot of us didn't get to work together. And you'll see why when you see the movie. It's sort of laid out that way. But I did get to spend a lot of time with him when I was just in New York, and we actually all were at the world premiere in Austin as well. And he's awesome. Like at the wrap party, we hung out and we had the best time, the best talk. And he's an absolute sweetheart. And I think he really loves horror movies too. He really enjoys acting, and he did a great job. He has a memorable moment in this film for sure.
Okay. And Krsy, in terms of I do believe it's an exciting time for you, because not only are you promoting one movie, but you're promoting two at the one time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very crazy. I have a film that came out last week called Little Bites on October 4th. And it's in theaters right now and on VOD. And I don't think you can ever plan that, to have two films come out at the exact same time at theaters. So I've been, just promoting both and doing a lot of different festivals and premieres and things like that, and a lot of interviews with nice people like you. And it's been really an amazing experience. And Little Bites is also a horror film, but it's a completely different type of horror film. It's a very paced, full of dread. It's, whereas Terrifier is just full throttle the whole time. And so it was really rewarding to get to do two films where I get to play such different characters. It's been a really amazing experience.
And Krsy, the whole genre of different sort of genre, comedy, romance, horror, action, drama, time period pieces. Obviously, you're known for sci-fi as well. Are there particular genres that appeal to you or attract you, or do you find yourself landing in those roles more than often? Because it seems to be sci-fi and horror seem to be two roles that go hand in hand, and specifically, you have a big background in sci-fi as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when I started out, I didn't really get to do a ton of horror. I did do Underworld Evolution, which was really cool. But I did a lot of like drama. I always was sort of like the mean girl teenager, and then I kind of, outgrew that, and I sort of really landed in horror. It's my favorite genre to do, but that being said, I think the cool thing about horror is you get to do drama, you get to do comedy, you get to do like basically everything you can imagine, like the scope of like a performance. If you're in a horror film, it's you get to kind of dabble in all of it. But I mean, I don't pick and choose. I'm just if it's a great film and a great role, I'm excited to do it. But I really have a lot of fun with the horror stuff, and the horror fans are the best people.
Okay. Krsy Fox, have you ever been to Ireland? Have you donned their shores in the Emerald Isle in the past?
No, but you guys that is one of my top places I want to visit. I've been to the UK, I've been to some different places, but I have not got to come to Ireland, and I would love to do that.
Yeah, you definitely have to do a horror convention in Ireland sometime in the near future in Dublin. I'm just going to turn it over to you now, Krsy Fox, maybe for the final 30 seconds or so. You might enlighten all our audience, all our listeners, why they should go out to the cinema screens en masse, watch Terrifier 3, and what's in store for them.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so a couple words of advice before you see this film. Don't eat a big dinner. That's very important. Make sure that you go into it with a big group of people, see it in the theater, because it's such an experience with a room full of energetic people. Dress up, have a good time, because that's what it's supposed to be. And I just think that this movie, it's important to support films like this. This was like the underdog movie that it's an indie film that is going to destroy the box office. It is the coolest thing. And these people who made this film, Damien and Phil and David, who's one of the most talented actors I've ever worked with, they put their heart and soul into this. They kill themselves to make these films. And so it's very important to support horror films, and especially indie horror films. And this is a really special movie. And not only can you enjoy it for the Halloween season, which of course we will, but it's a Christmas movie. So at Christmas, you can gather your family together and you can watch it with